So this video is two videos in one. The first one is on the SGL8022WS, and it starts at whatever time's in the corner there. The second part involves this pretty simplistic headlamp, and hey, can I modify this to make it a bit funner? And it starts at whatever time's in that corner. So I've decided to do a bit more playing with the SGL8022WS, which is a touch sensor and dimmer. In the previous video, and I'll put the two videos involved in the corner there, I took this lamp, which that part used to come out there, took it apart, etc. And I've now got this circuit. This battery is bad, and I will be disposing of it. It barely takes a charge. But I'll show you how the SGL8022 works. You touch the capacitive coupling, well, that's what you're doing actually, and it turns the light on. Touch it again, turns it off. The spec sheet says basically that depending on how long you touch it, it's either on, off, or on, and if you touch and hold, then you can increase the brightness, and then if you do it again, you can dim it. So that's just showing that this works. Previously, this here was attached to this little piece, and that was their link to you. Now, what I'm going to do, though, is replace this, and as one comment said, hey, why don't you attach a flower? So guess what? I'll try to do a flower, but I'm going to do some other shapes also. I'm actually recording this out of sequence, so you'll have to bear with me. What I did is I took some of this 25 sheets of super thin copper leaf. I should have bought some stuff that was thicker, because handling this stuff, it just falls apart. So what I did was I used some glue to glue one sheet onto a piece of paper, and now I'm just going to check to see if I can solder to it. So I'm going to use lots of flux on this one. Oops. Tin it up a bit. Then see if I can actually solder to this thing. We'll know in a moment. That's looking good. I'm just going to have to pause for a second. Looks like you could use a bit more solder. There we go. It looked like it wetted quite nicely. So this is step one. What I'm going to do is actually cut this to a certain shape and then hook it up to the circuit. So for the first one, I'm going to take about 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches and see how that works out. Oops. Almost. And I am going to be keeping each of these so that when I try it with another touch sensor, I'll have a direct comparison. So let's cut this back a bit. Now I'll bring this in, disconnect the battery, bring that over, and take it off. Grab the soldering iron. Then hook this one up to here. There. And obviously I need to keep something between here and this, since this is actually a grounded surface. So, look up power, and then see how this one works. Oh, on off, that's working fine. Let's just put a piece of paper between me and it. Oh, turns on, turns off. Let's go with something a bit thicker. So a little piece of cardboard, and it is enough to stop it. And I'll try a piece of plastic. Let's get this all moved over. So, nope. Oops. And try that again. Nope. Okay, now the spec sheet on that chip, the SGL8022, does say you can change one of the capacitors, but I don't want to actually try that. But, so if I just have the copper exposed, it works nicely. Now, let's try another shape. So the next one's going to be 3/4 of an inch by 3/4. What I didn't realize on this one was there's actually still a little plastic coating or layer there. Very hard to see, but when I took this one off, it came off there. So let's wire this one up. There we go. Trying to get it to lay flat. Okay, obviously, on, off. That's working fine. We tried it before with a piece of paper. On, off. That's still working. What I want to see is actually if the sensor size makes a difference. Okay, it's not working for that. Oh well. And I think the next one has to be a flower, obviously. There's my maple leaf. The artists in the world don't have to worry about me taking their jobs. Now I'm going to cut it out off camera. Okay, a maple leaf first. It's supposed to look like a maple leaf. Use your imagination. There we go. And of course, yeah, that was working fine. The piece of paper. Yeah, so it's good through a piece of paper. It's a bit smaller probably than the 3/4 inch one. Where'd my piece of plastic go? Oh, there it is. Get it nice and flat. Ooh. Yeah, hit and miss by the looks of it. More miss than hit. Okay, next the flower. And if you can guess which flower this is, you've got a better creative imagination than I do. Let's see if it'll stick. This part of the process actually seems to be working really good. There we go. And then hook it up. Now, I did see on specs before they said this distance actually should be the absolute minimum possible. Obviously that's not happening. Okay, off, on. That part works. Where's my piece of paper? This would be expected considering it's very close to the other ones. But the comment on the other video was, what about a flower? So, oh well. Hit and miss through the plastic. So I do read the comments, and I did do one with flower. That's probably going to be the last video on this one. I think I've beaten it to death. So, on to the next stuff. Oh wait, I just heard somebody holler. What about a big button? Okay, 6 centimeters or 2.5 inches. Intermittent with one finger. Looks like if you hit it with more than one finger, it works. So obviously as size increases, I think probably the sensitivity is becoming an issue since that don't work, but that does. So now on to the next. So let's see if we can modify this and make it more interesting. It cost me $2 and it actually came with batteries. I'll just show that it does work. So there's all 3 of them lit. Off. Okay, 3. Hey, okay, 2. Off. So it has different patterns that you can do. 1, 2, or 3. And of course off. So let's first off get this stuff out of the way. And then we'll pop it open and see what it's like inside. There we go. Expensive. Obviously ones with lithium-ion batteries that are rechargeable. Probably a better idea. Or at least use rechargeable AAAs. And let's bring it up. Oops. There are 4 screws. Yeah, hopefully this one will fit. Yep. I'm going to fast forward this one. Just fumbling too much. I tend not to actually unscrew them far enough. Originally, I had planned actually to replace some of the LEDs with color-changing LEDs, but I'm pretty sure, since I'm now recording this after I took a look at the board, that I'm not going to be able to do that, simply due to these are fairly high-powered LEDs. So, we're returning back to normal speed in a moment. Okay, so what do we have here? Let's bring it up. Let's turn it around. We got the 3 LEDs. Oh, we actually even have writing on that chip. This is turning into a bit of a bust. The center chip there is an Azotec, or however you pronounce it, AZOTEQ, IQS712, and even though I could find their web page, they don't even talk about this chip. So it's probably a specialty chip that they made specifically for this type of product. Q1 over there is 2N or 24NC1, and I couldn't find it either. It's most likely an N-channel MOSFET. This one over here is a Schottky diode. It's KL1. I'll put the specs on it in the corner there. That actually I could find. But other than that, trying to follow these white traces on a white background was excessively irritating, and I decided it wasn't worth the effort since I don't know the pinouts on both of the ICs. You'll see in here that they've got some copper foil stuck in there. I think the actual housing was pushing this contact against here, because this would not turn on until I shoved this in here. So they do have a lot of test points all the way around it. And I'm just going to flip it over and turn it on for a second. So not a lot of brightness there. But I'm going to switch these batteries. And there's with a new set of batteries. The other ones were running about 0.9 of a volt on each of them. These are running 1.5. So, and this is about to get very bright. This thing is super bright with a fresh set of batteries. So it's kind of cute design. Of course, it's a battery eater. But it's nicely built. The reason I didn't modify it was I don't have any surface mount LEDs that would actually have fit in here. The ones I have are much, much smaller. Oh well, I think I need to order something. Have a good one.